You are sleeping with the enemy. You are hiring the traitor. You are confiding in the spy. And you don't even know it. Most people believe that time reveals character. They think if you know someone for 10 years, you know their soul. That is a lie. Time does not reveal character. Time allows people to perfect their mask. A psychopath can hold a pose for a lifetime if the lighting is right. Niccolo Machiavelli, the man who saw the human animal without its clothes, knew the truth. He knew that character is not revealed in the long, sunny days of peace. Character is revealed in the blink of an eye, in the fracture, in the thin slices of behavior that happen when the mask slips for a fraction of a second. You have been looking at the painting. I am going to teach you how to look at the cracks in the canvas. There are 3 specific moments, 3 psychological tripwires, that instantly force a human being to show you exactly who they are. Most people miss these moments because they are too busy listening to words. But if you watch, if you know where to look, you will see the monster before it bites you. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. We live in a theater. Every morning, you wake up, you put on your costume, you rehearse your lines, and you walk out into the world. Your boss does it. Your partner does it. Your best friend does it. We are all performing the version of ourselves that we want the world to buy. This is not necessarily evil. It is social survival. If we all told the truth about what we were thinking, society would collapse by noon. But there are some actors who are not playing a role for survival. They are playing a role for predation. They are the narcissists, the Machiavellians, the covert manipulators who view you not as a person, but as a battery, a source of fuel. They are charming. They are often the most charismatic people in the room. They mirror your values. They laugh at your jokes. They make you feel seen, but it is a simulation. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience who you really are." Why? Because the predator controls the interaction. They control the lighting. To see the truth, you must change the lighting. You must introduce a variable that they did not rehearse for. You must apply pressure, not big pressure, not a crisis. A crisis is too obvious. In a crisis, even the coward can act brave for a minute. No, you need the thin slice. Psychologist Nalini Ambady at Harvard conducted research on thin slices of behavior. She found that humans can accurately judge a person's character within less than 5 minutes of observation, often more accurately than after months of acquaintance. Why? Because the intuition catches the micro-leakage that the logical brain misses. Today, we are going to sharpen that intuition into a weapon. We are going to explore 3 specific thin slice scenarios. These are not generic trust your gut advice. These are stress tests. If you apply these, the mask will fall, and you will be left with the cold, hard reality of the person standing in front of you. Be warned. You might not like what you see. You might realize that the person sleeping next to you has been a stranger for years. Are you ready to look? The first revelation, the micro-denial, the boundary test. Let's begin with the most subtle, yet the most violent indicator. How does a person react when you tell them no to something that doesn't matter? I call this the micro-denial. Here is the psychology. A manipulator, a narcissist, or a person with a dark triad personality profile views other people as extensions of themselves. They do not see you as a separate entity with your own autonomy. They see you as an arm or a leg. When you move your arm, it moves. You don't ask it, you command it. When they ask you for a small favor, can you grab me a coffee? Can we change the restaurant? Can I borrow your charger? They are not asking. They are commanding their limb to move. So what happens when the limb refuses? What happens when you say, "No, I can't do that right now"? For a healthy person, a small no is nothing. It is data. Okay, no problem. They move on. Their ego is intact. But for the person with a corrupted character, a small no is a metaphysical shock. It is a rebellion. It is the arm cutting itself off from the body. They cannot process it. Watch the face. Machiavelli observed that men are driven by 2 things, fear and love. but the tyrant is driven by a third: control. When you deliver the micro-denial, you will see the mask slip. It happens fast. It lasts maybe half a second. Their smile will freeze. The light will leave their eyes. A flash of pure, cold rage will pass across their features. Paul Ekman, the researcher who mapped the human face, calls this a micro-expression. It is involuntary. The reptilian brain reacts before the social mask can catch up. They might recover quickly. They might say, "Oh, sure, totally fine." But you saw it. You saw the glitch. Why is this the most dangerous sign? Because if they rage at a small no, imagine what they will do when you give them a big no. If they cannot handle you refusing to buy them a drink, how will they handle you refusing to sign a contract? How will they handle you leaving the relationship? They won't. They will destroy you. The micro-denial reveals the entitlement of the soul. It shows you that their kindness is entirely conditional on your obedience. Test this tomorrow. Pick someone you suspect. Someone who is always charming, always nice, but something feels off. Wait for them to ask for a small, trivial favor, and simply say nicely, "No, I can't do that." Don't offer a big excuse. Don't apologize profusely. Just set the boundary, and then watch their eyes. If they look confused, that's normal. If they look disappointed, that's normal. But if they look insulted, if you feel a sudden drop in the temperature of the room, you are in the presence of a tyrant who is currently pretending to be a friend. Machiavelli would tell you to distance yourself immediately, because a man who cannot respect a small boundary will eventually violate a large one. He is not asking for your help. He is testing your submission, and you just failed the test, which means in his eyes you have become an enemy. But the reaction to no is only the first layer. It reveals their need for control. But what about their heart? What about their loyalty? There is a darker test. A test that reveals not how they treat you when you defy them, but how they treat you when you succeed. This is where the mask doesn't just slip, it shatters. The second revelation, the silent funeral, the envy audit. Robert Greene, the modern Machiavelli, wrote, "Envy is a weed that should not be watered. But I tell you, you must water it. You must water it just enough to see where the roots are growing." The second thing that instantly reveals character is the silent funeral. This is how a person reacts to your good news. We are taught that friends cry with us when we are in pain. That is true. But empathy for suffering is easy. It costs nothing. In fact, seeing you suffer can make a toxic person feel better about themselves. It triggers their savior complex or their schadenfreude. It is easy to hug a crying man. It makes you feel strong. But to celebrate a winning man, to cheer for a friend who has just surpassed you, that requires a nobility of spirit that is incredibly rare. Machiavelli noted that men are so simple and so ready to obey present necessities, but he also knew that men are inherently competitive. In the zero-sum game of the dark psyche, your win is their loss. Here is the test. The good news drop. You have just achieved something: a raise, a new relationship, a physical transformation, a small victory. Share it with them, but do not be humble. Do not self-deprecate. Share it with joy. "I finally got that deal. I'm so happy." Now freeze time. Do not listen to their words. Words are cheap. "Oh my God, congratulations, that's amazing." Ignore the audio. Watch the video. Look at the thin slices. Does the smile reach their eyes? Or is the mouth smiling while the eyes remain dead? Is there a micro-delay? A split second of hesitation before they perform the celebration? Do they immediately pivot the conversation back to themselves? That's great. It reminds me of when or worse. Do they offer the poisoned compliment? "Wow, you got the job. I'm surprised they hired someone with your experience. You got lucky. You look great. You almost look like your old self." This is the silent funeral. They are mourning their own status. Your success has held up a mirror to their stagnation, and they hate you for it. Why is this lethal? Because a person who cannot celebrate your success is a saboteur in waiting. They are the smiling saboteur we spoke of before. They are praying for your downfall. When you are winning, they are plotting. When you stumble, they will be the first to offer a hand, not to pull you up, but to hold you down. In the court of the prince, Machiavelli warned against those who flatter you, but he should have warned even more strictly against those who go quiet when you win. The silence of a friend during your victory is the loudest warning shot you will ever hear. It means they were never your friend. They were your competitor, and you were just too blind to see the scoreboard. If you see the silent funeral, do not confront them. Do not call them out. Use the Machiavellian law of concealment. Stop sharing your wins. Go dark. Become gray. Feed them the misery they crave. Tell them things are tough. Tell them you are struggling. Watch how they light up. Watch how their energy returns. They will become animated, helpful, talkative. They will love you again, because you are back where they want you, beneath them. This confirms the diagnosis. They are a vampire of potential, and you must drive a stake through the relationship before they drain you dry. But envy and control are internal states. They are things that happen inside the mind of the other person. The third revelation is different. The third revelation is about what happens when the chains are taken off. What happens when a person thinks they are God? What happens when they think there are no consequences? This is the ultimate test, the ring of Gyges, and it reveals the darkest truth of all. The third revelation, the impunity factor, the waiter rule 2.0. There is a famous concept called the waiter rule. It suggests that you can judge a person's character by how they treat service staff. If they are nice to you but rude to the waiter, they are not a nice person. This is true, but it is basic. It is Character Assessment 101. We are going to take this to the graduate level. We are going to the Machiavellian deep end. The true test is not just how they treat a waiter. It is how they treat anyone over whom they have absolute, unchecked power in a moment of stress. I call this the impunity factor. Abraham Lincoln famously said, "Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power." You don't need to make them a president to test this. You just need to watch them in a moment where they hold the upper hand. Watch them when they are the customer and there is a mistake. Watch them when they are the boss and a deadline is missed. Watch them when they are driving a car and a pedestrian walks too slow. In that moment, they have power. They are in the metal box. The pedestrian is flesh. They have immunity. They are anonymous. They will be gone in seconds. What do? Do they yield or do they accelerate? Do they scream inside the safety of their glass cage? This reveals the shadow self. The shadow self is who the person would be if laws and social norms did not exist. Machiavelli wrote that men are ungrateful, fickle, false, cowardly, covetous. He believed that men are only good when they are forced to be good by necessity. When the necessity is removed, when they can be cruel without consequence, the true nature is revealed. Look for the power trip. You are looking for the person who enjoys the suffering of the subordinate. It's the subtle smirk when they correct someone's grammar in public. It's the extra 5 minutes they make someone wait just because they can. It's the way they withhold information to make someone else struggle. This is not about being rude. This is about sadism. Sadism is not just for serial killers. It is a spectrum. Every time a person uses their small amount of power to make another person feel small, they are revealing that their core character is predatory. They are showing you that the only reason they haven't hurt you yet is because they don't have power over you yet. You are currently an equal, or maybe you are a superior, so they treat you with respect. But the moment the dynamic shifts, the moment you need them, the moment you are vulnerable, they will treat you exactly like they treated that waiter, exactly like they treated that pedestrian. Because character does not change based on who is standing in front of it. Character is the operating system. If the OS is programmed to crush the weak, it will crush you the moment you show weakness. Do not be fooled by how they treat the kings. Watch how they treat the pawns, because to the narcissist, Everyone eventually becomes a pawn, even you. Stop listening to the words, the micro-denial, the silent funeral, the impunity factor. These are the 3 coordinates of the dark map. If you see one, be cautious. Everyone has a bad day. Everyone has a moment of weakness. If you see 2, be armed. You are dealing with a dangerous personality. If you see 3, you are in the cage with a tiger. And just because it hasn't eaten you yet doesn't mean it's vegan. It just means it isn't hungry right now. But tigers always get hungry. You have to realize that you cannot fix this. You cannot love the entitlement out of them. You cannot support the envy out of them. You cannot teach the cruelty out of them. These are not habits. These are nature. And as the fable of the scorpion and the frog teaches us, nature always wins. So what do? You do not make a scene. You do not accuse them. You become formless. You slowly withdraw your energy. You slowly withdraw your secrets. You slowly withdraw your access. You fade into the background. Let them find a new source of supply. Let them find a new victim to control, to envy, and to crush. Do not let it be you. Because the price of keeping these people in your life is not just your peace. It is your soul. They will eat your light to feed their darkness. Don't let them. Now pause. Take a breath. You have been nodding your head. You have been thinking of names. You have been cataloging the people in your life who fit these descriptions. Yes, my boss does that. Yes, my ex did that. Yes, my friend is exactly like that. It feels good, doesn't it? It feels good to hold the magnifying glass and examine the flaws of the monsters around you. It feels safe to be the observer. But I did not bring you here just to give you a weapon to use against others. That would be too easy. And Machiavelli was never about easy. I brought you here to give you the ultimate weapon, the one that cuts both ways. Because if you want to be truly untouchable, if you want to be an outlier, you must do the one thing that 99% of people are too cowardly to do. You must turn the magnifying glass around. You must look at yourself, because the uncomfortable truth, the one that might make you click off this video right now, is that you have done these things. Maybe not all of them, maybe not often, but be honest. Have you ever felt a flash of rage when someone told you no? Have you ever felt a pang of sickness when a friend succeeded where you failed? Have you ever taken your stress out on someone who couldn't fight back? If you say never, you are a liar. And a liar is the most dangerous character of all. We all have the shadow. The difference is that the outlier owns the shadow, while the average man is possessed by it. To truly master the art of character, you must audit your own soul with the same ruthlessness that you audit others. This is not about guilt. Guilt is a useless emotion. It is a waste of energy. This is about calibration. If you want to surround yourself with high-value, loyal, powerful people, you cannot be a covert narcissist in disguise. Real recognizes real. And the wolves can smell the sickness in you. So let's go deeper. Let's go into the basement of your own psychology. We are going to perform an exorcism of your weakness. Because the only way to be safe from the monsters is to recognize the monster in the mirror and put a leash on it. Machiavelli wrote, "A wise prince should rely on what is in his own control, not on what is in the control of others." Your character is the only thing you control. So how do you fix the glitches? How do you ensure that you are not the one failing the test? Let's go back to the 3 revelations and flip them. 1. Mastering the no, the sovereign mindset. When someone tells you no, watch your reaction. If you feel anger, catch it. That anger is your ego screaming, "I am not important." It is a child's tantrum. To be a high-value man, you must reach a state of internal abundance where a no from the world means nothing. No is just redirection. No is protection. When you accept a denial with total grace, with a genuine smile, you confuse the hell out of people. They expect you to push. They expect you to beg. They expect you to get mad. When you say, "I understand completely, no worries," and you mean it, You signal power. You signal that you have options. You signal that you are not desperate. Desperation smells like rot. Detachment smells like power. Practice this. The next time you are rejected by a girl, by a client, by a friend, force your body to relax. Force your face to remain open. Kill the tyrant in the nursery. Become the king on the throne. The king does not beg. 2. Mastering the envy, the alchemist mindset. Envy is energy. It is just energy moving in the wrong direction. When you feel envy, it is because you believe that the supply of success is limited. You believe that if they eat, you starve. This is the scarcity mindset. It is the mindset of the peasant. The abundance mindset realizes that another person's success is proof that it is possible. If they can do it, the physics of the universe allow it. When you feel that pang of jealousy, transmute it. Turn it into fuel. Do not fake the celebration. Use the celebration. Get close to the winner. Study them. Absorb their frequency. If you resent them,